here.
So is Jill. She's here too.
She's
You
here.
can hear her, and now you can see her.
Hello.
And we also have
Hi,
Xander.
I'm Xander, and I'm here by constitutional right, not by popular demand. That was me.
And we're glad about it.
I just didn't even have time to think about my intro. And
Well,
I
who
feel
are
like you
you?
had all day to think about it.
I thought about it on the ride over.
Yeah, I thought so.
Prepared.
My name is Jill, and I am here.
I'm Heather, and I'm here.
Excellent. Consciously
And awarely.
and awarely.
Yeah, actually.
I'm full of awareness.
Now that you mention it.
Right now.
We're so aware.
I'm so aware.
Like, look, our eyes are open.
Hello.
Nobody's blinking right now.
This is what happens at the end of a long day. We come on here and we yap and we vibe, and like I show up with intention of speaking coherently.
Mhm.
Does it happen all the time?
No.
No.
No, it doesn't.
I'd say about an 80% success rate.
Thank you.
80-20.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good
Yeah.
batting average right
Yeah.
there. She's consistent.
So, I know we just alluded at our topic, but what is our topic?
Conscious.
Awareness.
Yay!
We
Conscious
What
awareness is cool.
conscious awareness? What is conscious awareness?
Yeah,
Isn't that the question?
good question.
What do you think?
I honestly need someone. I'm here to ask questions. I'm here because I need someone to define it for me.
We love consciousness.
I mean, from the surface, it just sounds like the, kind of the extra effort to be present in your surroundings, but
Present. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Reflective, self-reflective. Noticing. That's a good word.
Observing.
Observing is a good word.
Yes.
I like to define it by not defining it.
oof, okay.
Okay, so buckle up. Unconsciousness is not conscious awareness. Unconsciousness is like unaware.
Very much.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
By definition. Subconsciousness is like I don't know, like sub means like under.
Right.
So there's some awareness, but it's like not
It's
fully in
not.
the light.
It's not fully
It's
conscious.
not obtuse.
It's like sleepy consciousness.
Passive consciousness.
Subconscious would allude to at some point you learned that was an experience. That was a
Right.
truth, that was a situation, you've observed it,
Right.
but it lives in the subconscious, which
Like-
is about like 80% of your mind's capacity to hold and process information.
Like buried.
It is. It's the bottom of the iceberg. It is below
Yeah.
the surface.
Hmm.
It is like the filing cabinet in the back of your mind where you
I
keep
like
all that
these
information.
analogies. Really good. So like unconscious would be like the bottom of the ocean nobody visits, the part we haven't explored yet.
Unconscious would make me believe that it's something that you have not learned before and is not in any awareness that you've had at any point. It is.
Yeah.
It would be bringing the unconscious conscious would be brand new information.
Right. Like a baby who has never been to a rock concert.
Correct.
They're unconscious of rock and roll in a concert format. Hopefully.
There is no known association that you have with that.
Mm.
Right. Then conscious is bringing all of the what was subconscious up to the conscious.
Right.
And probably
Bring it to
there's
the
a
forefront.
flow of like it goes from unconscious to subconscious to conscious. Might go from unconscious to conscious actually. I didn't know and now all of a sudden I know. But it seems like conscious awareness is when you can look at something, you can observe it, you can notice it, and you can draw conclusions about it, make interpretations about it. And I think it's a really abstract concept, but I think it's really important because I think it's really transformative. And the difference between somebody who feels like they are living their life as other people want them to live, or they are living their life as they want to live.
So the subconscious would be living your life as other people want you to live. You're just kind of going through it. Then consciousness is living it as you're
Yes.
in your
Sub-
authenticity.
What you hold in your subconscious are things that you've learned and experienced over time, but it's not in your conscious awareness. So it still impacts how you view the world around you. When you, as you grow up, you're being conditioned by your environment, your parents, your primary caretakers, huge number one influence. You have your community, schools, culture, religion, even your language that you speak, and kids now have access to like social media and the internet, which was not something I widely had access to when I was that young. So
Right.
all of these message units, all of these things that are sending you information, whether that's inferred or literal,
Mm-hmm.
you're holding on to that. You're learning that is maybe an acceptable way to behave or unacceptable way to behave. And those influences, you hold on to them. You're not always conscious of it. You're not always like, oh, I have this fear because of X, Y, and Z experience. That might be something that, like, when I work with people, with my clients, like, we are
In hypnosis.
in hypnosis, we are trying to understand what is the root of this behavior that no longer serves you, or this thought pattern. Okay, do you remember a time when you ever felt that way? Maybe yes, maybe no. We connect it to a subconscious experience, something that has been laid dormant in the back of the mind, but still impacting how you perceive the world around you. But even if it's in the subconscious, the point is to become conscious of it, to bring it into the conscious so that you can decide, which is the conscious mind, decision making, decide how you want to associate with that. Whether it's like, okay, that no longer aligns, so I'm getting rid of that and I'm creating a new association.
Decision
Decision-making.
And I think, like, you pointed here, and I think it also helps to define it by, like, approaching it from the brain. If the back bottom of your brain, like, what's back there? What's that called? Like, I don't remember the terminology for that part, but it's like your fears,
Like this part right here, or
Yeah.
like deep inside,
like
like
in the back bottom,
in the back bottom with like your brainstem. It's like your
like above there, like the cerebellum or something.
yes,
Cerebellum.
yes,
Did I know that?
you did.
Yes.
Consciously?
Sarah. Like maybe subconsciously. But it's like your survival mode is like pleasure reward centers, fear centers.
Yeah.
And then your frontal lobe.
Mm-hmm.
Occipital?
It's in the back.
Okay. Your
Occipital
frontal.
is in the back. Yeah.
This is where you make your conscious choices.
Yeah. This is your decision maker up here.
Decision maker.
Yeah. So we have frontal lobes, we have temporal lobes, we have occipital lobes, and parietal lobes. It's a whole thing. But
Right.
basically, where you make decisions is right up here in front of the
Frontal
brain.
lobe.
But in the deeper parts of the brain, where we hold like emotion and memory, obviously there's going to be some interaction. The brain isn't just by itself. All these lobes kind of talk to each other.
Absolutely.
So that's where the subconscious
That
is.
would be kind of probably where
Deeper,
if you were to like
inner.
put it somewhere, it'd be like the deeper brain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. So brain science here
We
on
love
live
brains.
at Ritual Space. We're live. We've all got brains.
Brains are crazy.
So fascinating.
We don't know a lot about them.
We don't. We
No.
don't know a lot about brains. We know more about the ocean than we do
And we
about
don't
our
know a
brain.
lot about the ocean.
What do we even know?
What
Not
do we
much.
know? I don't think
And
much.
you only know what you know. You don't know what you don't know.
That's so true. And there's so much more to know.
And that's my conscious
Always,
awareness.
You know?
That's a good one.
Cue. That's the episode, guys.
Yeah. And cut. Okay, so definition wise, I think we covered it.
I think we
like,
covered
very
it. Yes.
thoroughly
No.
and extensively.
In summary, you don't know. So, like you don't know unconscious. Subconscious, you know, but you're not aware. And conscious, you know, you are aware.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder if there's like, what's a journey we've been on where something moved from unconscious to maybe subconscious to maybe conscious? I'll go.
Okay, you go. I gotta think more.
I think, growing up in a very sheltered community, there was a lot of unconsciousness about my own white privilege. And then there was like a awakening of I think there is a subconscious where like something's not quite right,
Mm.
but I don't quite know what it is. Like, why can't I be friends with Ariel on my bus? Just because she has a different race. Didn't quite add up, but I couldn't really bring my full attention to that. I was just kind of like irritated, emotional. maybe about it. It probably affected my actions in one way or another, but I didn't totally understand. And then as like probably way far into adulthood than I would like it to be, learning this and having experiences bring me to that, to where at least I know that I have so much more to learn for like the rest of my life, that I can't actually fully know everything there's to know about that topic, but I can consciously choose to continue being a student about it. So
There you go.
that's one journey.
I think that's like a good example
Yeah.
of that journey. And I think it points to also like the connection between the subconscious and what's unconscious. Because whether you are aware of it or not, you have subconscious beliefs that you've been told or, told to believe about people of different races, for example.
Yeah. Oh
Right?
yeah.
But unconsciously knowing that that's connected to a greater theme of understanding white privilege.
Right. Well, if it's all I experienced, then how would I have known that there was another experience if I didn't experience that?
Right.
So it was very unconscious for a time,
Right.
Yeah.
which
Subconscious.
is like a failure of the community I was in for sure as a child, and then became my
Or
responsibility.
maybe very much on purpose.
Right. Probably. Well, definitely. Yeah. Whether consciously or
Very-
subconsciously.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting, like this conversation is interesting to have because there's so much that we don't know, yet we think we know so much.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, it's a little overwhelming to even think about consciousness.
It is a broad topic. It's very broad.
So, how do we apply this concept to everyday small moments?
Knowing that you don't know, I think
We don't
what
know.
you're talking
How
about.
do you actively check yourself?
How do you actively check yourself, bro?
I think you're gonna be like, bitch. Check yourself. No, that's. I mean,
No, it's a good question.
it is a really good question. It's, I think, when it comes to like work, for example, there's a lot of information out there. If you work in any field, right? Teaching modalities, therapeutic modalities, right? And we kind of get comfortable in what we know. That would be the consciousness. So how do you check your consciousness? And I know if I were to like start a new like education that is going to teach me to further develop my skills, if there's a fear there about learning something new, that's me kind of checking my consciousness. Like, why am I afraid about this? And I'm afraid because I could be wrong. I'm afraid because, I could be behind the times. I could be working in outdated information. I did not know this whole time, right? Or I don't know what else I'd be afraid of. But those are normally the two things. Like when I start something new, it's kind of like, oh, well, what if I'm not on it, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of check my conscious being, and then it's about having that bravery to take the leap forward, to be like, yeah, I'm gonna approach this with humility and be open to the potentiality of relearning, and that's reforming that conscientious part.
So
I think that you kind of talked about it too.
So are you saying that like because you do want to be like an authority in your field, you always approach it with an open mind of learning what you don't know? So
I don't know if I want to be like an authority, but I want to be good, right? I want to help. I want to do a good job. That there's, I think everyone to a degree carries pride in doing a good job of what they do, right?
Yeah.
Could be anything. So, what was your question again?
No, I think you
Repeat
just
the second
answered
part.
it.
Okay, yeah.
It's like what keeps you
In the conscious
in a conscious state
is kind of that check,
and intentionality.
right?
With how you approach something important to you.
Right.
An openness, a humility, a willingness to be taught. Like perpetual learner. Yeah, that's great.
A word that I think of when I think of consciousness is truth. but also I feel like that is so vast,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's multiple truths that exist.
Yeah.
Or there's so much to know. I think when I think of consciousness, I'm like, I think of the universe and like
Perspective.
this
Perspective,
vastness, right?
Or perception,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Perspective, perception.
And there's so many different realities to participate in consciously. I don't know, this conversation feels big.
So
It's a
it,
very
it
big
does,
conversation, yeah.
and abstract. How do you choose consciously the reality that you participate in?
Yeah. For me, it's and kind of going back to what you said, I feel like it's all about how do I want to feel? And so then how can I consciously become aware of the things and the actions that will help me align with that feeling for myself?
Yeah.
And then it's about, okay, when I'm acting in integrity with this reality, so if I want to feel successful, if I want to feel happy and joyful, if I want to feel connected and supported, what can I do consciously to help me connect with that reality? Because that perception, then I create that reality, and if my emotions and the feelings in my body connect me with that reality, I'm going to then live in that reality consciously. But then it's also about, okay, when I notice the fear or the stress or the anxiety, that is no longer in alignment with the reality that I'm creating for myself. So how can I consciously become aware of that? Go into the subconscious, connect with the association that I have with this or the fear that's blocking me, and how can I move through that in order to step back into my conscious reality?
Yeah.
Because consciousness is really just an awareness of the present moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because like consciousness, you can have access to so many different realities.
Yeah.
But, in this moment I'm conscious that I'm in connection and having conversation, and we're talking about this very vast idea, this concept. I don't know. I don't even know.
Yeah, well, a lot of what you're saying is about first bringing consciousness to how you feel.
Yeah.
Your awareness of your emotions,
How
which
am I
I
experiencing
think,
this moment.
yeah, which I think is subconscious and unconscious for a lot of people, just to give emotions their credit for what they're here for. There's so much suppression and blinding and avoidance of emotions altogether. So it sounds like at the core of the way you approach it is really those inner check-ins with how do you feel first, and then from there you choose. Sounds like.
Do you ask yourself why you feel those things and then move forward?
Definitely. Yeah, I think that helps you have a greater understanding of that experience. So I don't even know where, I could go in. So
Well,
many
it sounds
places
like
with
it's not about knowledge for you. It's about present to wherever is you're experiencing in the moment. It's very much about experience when in your description. I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah. I also think consciousness and conscious awareness can shift, because before doing hypnotherapy and doing this work, I had consciousness. I was making conscious choices with awareness. And then the more that I learned about my mind and my subconscious, I became even more aware of the responsibility of my conscious awareness. When we're in beta state, now we're having a conversation, we're using our conscious mind, we're making decisions, we're choosing our words and experiencing that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're in a very limited, I guess, consciousness. When we do in hypnosis, we're accessing the subconscious. But honestly, I think that can broaden your sense of consciousness.
It expands.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you just realize how much goes into it. I think that's why it's almost hard to nail down this conversation and where it can all go, because it is just about expanding your perception on what's possible and what's real. What's real, I mean, if you can create your reality,
Right.
I think
then
it
anything is possible.
there's intellectual awareness, like what you know.
Yeah.
Then there's emotional awareness, like conscientious emotional awareness, what you're feeling and why you're feeling it that way. I think there's also like a physical awareness, right? Conscientious awareness that like
Feeling.
right.
Physically.
Well, yeah, this is here. Like I'm not gonna run through this. I think that's what makes this a very difficult conversation almost to talk about, because there are all these separate things that we can be conscientious of, and there is overlap between them, right? Because your physical surroundings may impact your emotional
Yep.
well-being, right? But let's stick to one. Let's stick to like an emotional conscious awareness, like intentional awareness to your emotions, because I think that does fit this theme, because there are some people who are just unconscious of, their emotional well-being,
Yeah.
right? In which case they are dysregulated and they don't know what that dysregulation is. Is that anger? Is it joy? Is it whatever, right? Then there's subconscious, I think, kind of emotional awareness, right? Where maybe you can identify that something is wrong or you are dysregulated, but you don't know necessarily the next step, which is why, right? So we have dysregulation without knowing dysregulation knowing you're dysregulated.
Right.
It's more that subconscious, right? Then conscious
That's
is
so true.
I'm dysregulated because
Right.
I'm feeling this, and maybe even one step further, because this has happened,
Right.
right?
Right.
So what's
Experientially.
right,
Yeah.
right, or I know I'm having this emotion because this is a reaction that I have to X, Y, and Z.
Patterns.
Right.
Like recognition of patterns.
So where do you like to start on zero? Where like what's your routine that you kind of center yourself? Because I think we talk about this a lot,
Yeah.
especially maybe therapeutically for you, but also just I think metaphysically, right? We talk about being present or grounded. How do you two like to kind of ground yourself where you have that emotional reset but awareness?
Well, I think of it as like, okay, so if we are, everything is connected and we are divine. Like I blow it up to zoom in.
Okay.
That's what I do. That's my brain. So everyone's divine. Everything's connected, right? No, there is no separation. But we wanted to perceive very specific journeys and maybe soak things out of it, and we're learning about who and what we are. It's an never-ending journey of learning, and our brains are kind of like antennas, like complete with like electrical cords, and like we're organic robots essentially. And so we are like receivers of information, and so it's like bringing that divine consciousness to the experience. And I think for me, if I'm ever feeling the urge to do that, it's breath.
Okay.
That's where it starts.
We're all divine. I just need to breathe.
Like right though? Like
I mean,
right?
yeah,
Because infinity
What
is
a
a
doubt.
lot to process.
sure. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And I think we're here to be focusers.
Mm-hmm. So do you take time
we
out
cannot
of your
have
day
access to everything.
No.
all the
to
time.
Oh, God,
do
no.
like a breathing exercise?
Yeah. So I definitely do. I think the better I get at it, and the more positive consequence I see from it, I will do it like, oh, I'm stressed in the car and I'm gonna breathe in traffic, or but that has been helping. I've been doing Qigong a lot. Do you
Which-
do Qigong?
I don't know. What that is.
It's like you barely move and then you feel like amazing after. Like you just go like this, kind of. It's like bare minimum movements, and it moves energy.
Mhm.
So for me, feeling so much energy all the time, it's amazing. I do it like twice a day at least for like 15 minutes, and it literally, I have so much more energy. It helps me to be in that state of the, centering, so that I can interact and be more conscious about what I choose to interact with throughout the day. I notice.
What about you, Chica?
Definitely breath.
Can't all breathe.
Do you say we all breathe or
We can't all breathe. We just
Well,
just kidding.
breath is, I mean,
Can
it's
we-
huge.
Just come on.
I think we're all breathing. I think
But like, yeah, doing like breath work, connecting back in my body, helping, like, I feel like I need to ground. Like, I need to touch earth. I need
Yes.
to touch something physical and be like, okay, I'm here.
Like, don't you
Oh
need
my
to get
God.
like real comfy? In, like a comfy spot.
Absolutely need to be comfortable.
You need to get into like a comfy spot before you
I-
like process.
Preferably laying down.
Yeah.
I really love to lay down. I really love it a lot. But also I use hypnotic tools. I meditate. I do my, because sometimes like if I'm like overstimulated and stressed, if I have to like go within to actually connect with how I'm feeling and like what I want to do about it. So I have to like hack my nervous system. I have to do the breath work. I have to walk myself into my mind down the steps. If you know, you know. And like, okay, let me come back to like my voice, not these like. There's a lot of voices in my mind, right?
There's an infinity out there.
Infinity, and they all sound. Some of them sound like my mother. Some of them sound like my first grade teacher that got mad at me one time, you know. And then, you know, there's just
The teacher.
There's a lot of things going on there. But I do. I have to like walk myself into my own mind, into my safe space to like
Safe
process what I'm feeling, and also remember like, okay, what is my intention though? Like, what am I doing? What am I hoping to create? Whatever the situation is, and how can I like give myself permission to show up in that energy.
What do you do?
I love a routine.
You love a breath.
No, I don't breathe.
Okay.
I'm beyond that.
No, I
No,
think- I
I've
think
transcended
I
breathing.
didn't think you breathed.
I love a
I respect that.
routine. And it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, routines change over time. You know, it's nice to have something for a while, and then watch it maybe change or evolve over time. But something as simple as just like waking up and making coffee. I know this sounds like a Folgers commercial, but it's
Best part of waking up.
it's true though. There's something about just like that moment of silence, kind of before the rest of the world wakes up. You have in like that solitude.
Like you do that every day for yourself?
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah. It's I think it's really nice. That's why I do it. But
Yeah. I like that idea.
you know, but I think routine is great. I like to move. A walk, I think, solves so many problems. Just to,
Very much,
you
yeah.
know, get out
Like
and
physical.
move a little bit. Yeah,
Do you think you physically process emotion a lot?
I think, yes, yeah. I know I can be very cerebral about my emotion, but I know when I'm kind of going through the muck of it, that movement, you know, if that's taking a walk or just like bopping around my house to some music or surprisingly like gym routines I don't do so well with, I think because it's
Okay.
so kind of count to 10, 12, you know,
Too
it's too rigid, yeah.
Oppressive.
Almost.
Yeah.
I mean, I like going to the gym, don't get me wrong, but I think that it sometimes makes it a little bit harder in those cases, but I like to move.
Yeah.
You know, through the emotion a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A walk really just is the best thing you could probably do to regulate yourself sometimes.
And then I think it's taking those moments. Like on the walk, I'll take moments where, like, I'll notice the breeze, or I'll notice a smell, or, I mean, these are, I think, true, like, psychological grounding techniques.
Yeah. Mindfulness.
Right. Bringing
Yeah.
conscious awareness about something.
And I think we're talking about it on an individual level and how we do this for ourselves and how it's this never-ending journey because there's always something to learn. And I also think it's happening more on a larger scale with technology and how much we're connected to people across the world that we've never met or never will meet. And we're listening to somebody in North Dakota talk about her favorite brand of bagel that she made. Debbie.
Is
Debbie
this a real
the bagel
person?
lady.
Oh, are we like, okay, I was like, did I miss this viral sensation of Deborah
No.
the Bagel Lady? Okay.
No, but that's it, like virality, I mean, what it means about politics, what that means about when somebody says a clear non-truth, and you can be like, actually, we can see the truth here in this video and all these videos that we're looking at, so you're lying. And like, it's exposing a lot more on like a global scale. I don't know that we're so conscious of the process that's making us conscious on a global scale. I think there's a lot of like sneaky, manipulative, algorithmic kind of things kind of getting our attention we're not so conscious of, but I think there's some awareness, awakening at least, happening on a large scale.
It's moving from the unconscious to the subconscious.
Oh, tell me. Yeah. Okay, so
I'm just trying to summarize what I think, 'cause
Okay.
it's an awakening. We're not quite
Yes.
aware.
Yes.
So I think it's the unconscious moving
Right.
into the subconscious.
It's like a feeling, we're like,
Right.
wow.
We're dysregulated, we don't know why.
Yeah.
We're dysregulated, we're starting to understand why we might be dysregulated,
Yeah,
but we
the
can't
intricacies of that.
pinpoint it.
Yeah, because it's like, this makes me angry, and then a cat video, and then
I love a cat video.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Are the bird
It always
videos
comes back to aliens.
aliens?
Let's wake up to that.
Aliens?
Aliens.
No, let's not wake up to aliens.
That's
Let's talk
too
about
much
subconscious
infinity. That's a lot
fears.
of infinity.
Aliens.
That's
Subconscious
a conscious
fears.
fear.
Well, I know it's conscious now, but at one point it was subconscious.
I don't know if I'm afraid
Actually,
of
I
aliens.
don't know. I mean, I am.
Okay.
You wait, what? What'd you say?
Yes. I don't know if we are
I said
afraid
I don't
of
know
aliens.
if I don't know if I'm afraid of
Oh,
aliens.
are you afraid of aliens?
Yes.
Sure.
Sure. Thank
I think
you for
there's a valid-
validating me.
I think that's
You're afraid of aliens? Yes. Sure.
I try not to think about that.
It's just ever
So
since
you-
I was like.
so
a little kid.
you're subconscious, unconscious to it.
I don't know. Like,
Try not to.
I'm
think
a
about
good
it.
person.
Okay. What?
Oh.
Nobody? Are you all right?
So.
No, continue.
So, there has to be like aliens out there that are good.
Oh. That's
Oh, yeah.
Like
It's-
I don't know if. Okay.
I just.
Okay.
Let's just- we're gonna have to do this.
Okay,
This
let's
is a
talk
long
about
time
it.
coming.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Honestly, it was
If we are a part of this collective consciousness.
Yeah.
Aliens would be a part of that collective consciousness.
I
If we're
feel
all
like there's
one,
a
if we're-
quantum physical potentiality where they're not.
Wait.
Oh.
Because it's like a different universe, different timeline, different
What do you think?
conscientiousness.
Where we don't want to experience it.
Or
So we don't incorporate that in reality.
yeah.
Like when I blocked Debbie, the bagel lady, I was
Right.
like, I'm done with you, babe. You just
Right.
stop talking about bagels.
right.
We can block them.
Wait.
We can
Is
block
what you're
them.
saying.
Potentially, yeah. Or it just like it's a different level. I don't know. I don't like to think about these things.
Here's
I stuff it into my unconsciousness.
my like bare level thing that made it feel okay and not terrifying was just like, if something is that evolved, then they have to get to a place where they're not like ready to destroy
Sure.
like we are.
They're
And
above
that's
that.
why
That's
we're
what
not
I
that
mean. I'm
evolved
like,
yet.
I don't know. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like.
For the longest time,
Can't
I
be
was
bad.
subconsciously afraid of aliens. I didn't know why.
Okay.
Did you?
Okay.
Were you
explain?
abducted?
I don't potentially.
Oh, but that-
Oh.
I mean, that's if you watch the shows, sometimes they say that, right? But then I thought about like, what about the concept, right, of like aliens is frightening to me, and I honestly think
Very self-reflective.
this is moving the subconscious right into the conscious. Like, what
Mhm.
about that concept is frightening? I think ultimately it boils down to two things. One, a lack of control, right?
Mhm.
Because aliens is
have
you
no
while you're
control over that.
asleep,
Yes.
and they
That would
abduct
be
you and
true.
you have no control. Two, privacy. Please knock first.
Right.
I don't want you just, it gives me the heebie-jeebies thinking of like someone standing over my bed watching me while I'm asleep. What if I snore?
I think
Those two things. That
I
kind
think
of
that's like
ugh.
spirit, like the idea of like spirit. I think whatever's not physical is watching us all the time.
Sure. That I can get behind. That's
Okay.
different though. Because there's like an omnipresence
Yeah.
to it,
Yeah.
right? That
you don't want them to
is-
judge your snoring.
It's not personal because spirit, God, higher being, whatever, it's like everywhere. So it's not like I'm seeking out you individually, Jill. I'm coming to your bedroom and I'm gonna abduct you.
Can I bring a?
Is it not like that though?
Can I have your permission to maybe bring a little more consciousness to it? Because
Sure.
I definitely don't want to if you
Sure,
don't
no,
want
let's
to,
do
and
it.
I respect that. So
Maybe we
does
can talk about me.
does so does that mean that what you're not conscious of is your power, even if they're aliens?
As in, like, I'm not conscious of my own power, therefore
You think
I
that they're bigger
fear
than you?
losing it. Well, yeah, if you can particle beam into my room, and I'm not exactly the tallest man, you're bigger than me, both technologically and physically. I
Right.
assume they're tall, like Greys. That's what I think of
Not
when
the
I think of
Greys.
I
aliens.
don't
Is
think they're
is
Greys.
the like
They're like 3-4, but yeah, there's other ones.
3-4? Oh, I don't know why that's
3-4
even more
feet.
frightening.
But I think
Yeah.
there's some
Because
tall
that would be
grays.
like head level. Could you imagine? Like you're just sleeping there, and then you turn over, and their eyes looking. That just.
Really
I'm
big.
sorry, I'd be derailed.
It's probably very unsettling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't find it unsettling.
Oh no, I think I would. I think I probably would because I have all the systems that are like alert, alert, alert.
Mm.
But I do think that I'm like in my processing because I think about it a lot. I think I connect with a lot out there, and in my sessions that I've had, I'm like, oh, you're very otherworldly. Like you're not from here. You're not connected. You're connected to something else, and I can tell. So I've had so many experiences with that I think.
There's more of a familiarity with it.
Yeah, and I think it made me feel like just a sense of, well, if you're willing to talk to me and observe me, then I must have some power.
Mm.
I must have something. Maybe I can't particle beam, but I've got your attention and I've got your interest, and that does make me have some power. Not necessarily to lord over anybody, but enough to hold my own in certain circumstances.
So, bargaining chip.
Maybe.
So I've talked about my conscious fears. What are you afraid of, Jill?
I'm afraid of this conversation.
I knew it.
I don't know.
You don't have to answer that.
I
was just.
mean, where do I begin?
I'm afraid of sharks.
Are you
I
afraid of sharks?
I am afraid of sharks.
Sharks don't like open water. That no.
Oh my god, open water. I'm afraid of sharks on land, like Sharknado.
Sharknado. I was gonna say that movie did not fare well with you, huh?
No, it didn't.
Sharknado.
Yeah.
I
What
watched
is it?
Jaws when I was young,
Oh no.
and I couldn't even
Breathe.
take a shower. I was like, it's gonna come up through the drain.
Oh, I can't.
I couldn't even
the
go in the
pool?
deep end of the pool.
Totally.
I was like, I don't know what's between my feet and the bottom. Shark, obviously.
Yeah,
Sometimes I
I'm
will say I think that's like a common
Yeah.
like fear for kids, like in the deep end of, because I remember swimming as a kid and my grandmother's was a deep end. And even though logically you're like, yeah, there's no shark in here.
Fear is not rational.
No, it's not. And it's being conscientious of that and making choices that the fear is not rational. That brings us back to our topic for the day.
It actually, but it does point to how powerful the brain is,
Yes.
and how perception really is so powerful.
I'm sorry. I just was remembering a time in my life where, because I'm so afraid of sharks, and it's the worst trick that my birthday is during Shark Week every year, and I'm jump scare at every
Oh my
turn.
God.
I even tried to do exposure therapy on my phone and have a picture of a shark, and I would just literally just be terrified It didn't work.
Dude,
I don't like them.
they don't like you either.
I don't think so.
Probably.
I did appreciate Finding Nemo when they had a Bruce character, and I was like, thank you for making this a little bit better for me, because I don't
Fish
want
off
to.
brains. No, babe.
Exactly. I don't want to be afraid, but yeah, I'm okay with it. I think at the end of the day, I'm alright with that. I also think that there's an element of what we're talking about that's behind what we're saying, in what we're talking about is when you don't know something, when you're bringing the unconscious to the conscious, there can be a feeling of shame. For example, if I'm talking about my white privilege, there is times, and in that process, I have to process the white guilt, for sure, and take space to do that, and I think there is shame involved in that process. And I think you don't want to not know what you're talking about, because it would feel like you want to show up and you don't want to feel that shame. or even like emotionally, like there's shame. Shame is kind of an emotion. So I think we're fully an emotion.
I would say
It's
an
an
emotion.
emotion.
Yeah, I would say it kind of borderlines like fear a little bit.
Fear. Yeah, like
You know,
fear,
embarrassment,
Yeah.
guilt.
Embarrassment. Yeah.
It's probably a Venn diagram somewhere out
I'm
there.
sure.
Where's my emotional chart when I need it?
We need a
But-
feelings pillow.
Definitely a pillow.
But yeah, I would say, and I think it kind of operates in a very, well, maybe it's not like fear. Maybe it can operate like fear, where if you feel shame, you can either wallow in it, much like how you can wallow in fear, be paralyzed by it,
Yeah.
or you can take that energy and better yourself with it.
Right, because I think, I've heard the definition of shame is I am bad, guilt is I did bad.
Mm.
And I am bad is just not true. I did bad, it can be true.
Mhm.
And that's where you take responsibility and accountability. But I think it's really easy to go to this place of shame and just feel this sense of like, I didn't know. And I messed that up. I messed that up for who knows how many people and how many times where I could have been more conscious in that area and I wasn't. I think it's really easy to spiral on that. And I think the fear of feeling the shame stops us sometimes from becoming conscious in the first place because we don't want to sit with that uncomfortable
You
feeling.
don't want to confront the truth, the reality
Yeah.
of it. I think, like, you don't know what you don't know, right? But
Right.
consciousness does come with responsibility because now
Yeah.
you know better, or now you know the truth of it, you know the extent of this, and now it's like, if you want to be in integrity with being in alignment with that truth consciously, then there is responsibility in showing up in that way.
Yeah. It makes me think of religion a lot because, when it comes to religion and growing up in a really religious community, you are taught to teach children, like,
Yeah.
to commit to the religion as soon as possible. And that commitment needs to be for the rest of your life. When you can't have all the information you need and your brain isn't fully developed, and it's like grooming, and to a sense, to a degree, and it feels really icky being on the other side of that, saying like, you're essentially like, you can't rob somebody of their free will, but you can make it difficult to access when it's a child and they're learning and you're pigeonholing them into one option instead of allowing them to experiment and learn and choose when they're adults and that fully frontal lobe is developed. Like, that feels really wrong. And
That's
conditioning. Yeah, exactly.
For better or worse.
But I think there's conditioning where it's like, I don't want you to run in the street because you're going to be hit by a car. But like, when you get older, if you decide I'm wrong, by all means,
Run into the street.
run into the street. Like,
Right. Well, I think it's like a different side of that coin between like conditioning, where you are pushing someone into a subconscious behavior vis-a-vis maybe religion, right?
that's a good way to put it.
Versus when you tell someone to not run into the middle of the street, you are bringing some conscious awareness
Yeah.
to the fact that there is danger,
Yeah.
An immediate danger of a car being there
Yeah.
if you run out and you don't pay attention.
Right.
And then, there's like...
I think with religion,
but-
it's like, I could, like, with that, it's like, I could be wrong.
Mhm.
Maybe you won't get hit by a car. Maybe you'll make your way across and you'll be fine, like Frogger. But, like, maybe.
Right.
But religion is like, this is the only way
Mhm.
to live, or you will
Right.
be.
Well, there's a moral aspect to religion, right? There's a spiritual and emotional aspect that does, I think, separate from your other example, which is like the physical aspect.
Yeah, like
right?
ethical, or like
It-
survival mode. Like,
survi-
that's just
yeah.
obvious cause and effect.
Right.
Yeah.
Cars are there.
Right, this is cause and effect.
So I don't think it's not necessarily saying, okay, well, it's two of the same thing, right? I think they're vastly different.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it tricky, because I think people in maybe some realms of religion promote that, and they are doing, their conscious awareness of that is that it is for the best.
Right.
you
I
know?
think I would be totally fine with, it's like, we're gonna practice this religion, this is the religion that I practice, you're gonna do it with me because I think it's the best, and if you change your mind, I will support you in whatever you
Yeah,
change
if
and
you're
let's
lucky
learn.
to have that upbringing.
Right,
Thanks,
which,
Mom.
yeah, I was.
I
were
was,
you?
yes, yeah.
Yay, high fives for Mom.
I remember I was watching some sort of documentary, on, you gotta say it both ways. People get all bent out of shape sometimes. How do you say it?
Documentary.
Documentary, or documentary.
Oh,
Okay,
I didn't know there were options.
There are
I am
tons of
now
options.
conscious.
I'm becoming
Conscious of
so
dialect.
conscious.
Ways to say that word. That's amazing.
So I remember watching
I was unconscious.
this documentary about the church, and I ran upstairs after when it was done. I think it was like 13 or 14 at the time, and I was like, Mom, I just watched this, and it wasn't exactly the most like positive review, and she goes, it's time for you to make a choice, and that was it. That's all she gave me, and I was like, okay, well, that was probably the wrong thing you could have told me, because I have an authority complex ultimately. So
Okay.
I was just like, fight the power.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Which I
I'm
love.
fine with that. Yeah.
Right.
I love that.
So
for that.
yeah, I think in a perfect world, yeah, that would be great.
But I think
You
that
know.
there's a lot of the reason why religion becomes the monster that it becomes in the world is because people are afraid to sit with the shame that was like kind of inherent in the way that it's practiced. Like that tenet is a very obvious like forefront. We train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is older he will not depart from it. That is a Bible verse. They want you to do that. That's like part of the religion, and that's not okay also. So it's kind of like when I zoom this out like I like to do, and I look at the collective and I look at society, and there's a lot of awareness being brought, you're seeing people feeling shame and going, nuh-uh, I didn't say that, I didn't do that, and and it looks very childish, doesn't it? Like it looks very immature when you see somebody who's like clearly in the wrong, ethically from a cause and effect standpoint, and they can't see it, because if they saw it, they would have to reconcile with, I did a bad thing. And what's going to happen if I do a bad thing? Then maybe I get punished, which is another aspect of this. The way our culture handles doing something wrong is punishing us. Punitive, punishing.
Thank you. I was gonna. We had a pre-talk. I was like, you're gonna have to find some of these words.
Punitive, punishing, versus restorative and like nurturing. Just with
Rehabilitative.
Rehabilitative.
I think consciousness in the greater scheme of it is recognizing that there's also always another way.
Yeah.
There's multiple solutions, infinite possibilities.
Creative.
There's always another way if consciousness is truly infinite.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's so hard to like nail it down, because there's your snapshot of consciousness or this awakening to reality, which is a powerful thing, but also the more that you understand this consciousness, this awareness, it really is opening up the idea that there's more than one way to do this. And I think when people go through this consciousness shift, especially on a societal level, we talk about it in here all the time,
Yeah.
there is this collective consciousness awakening.
Mhm.
People are waking up to the fact that the way that we are being conditioned to live or how to treat each other, whether that's from a religious standpoint, an institutional standpoint, cultural standpoint, which is, they're all connected and influenced by each other. It's this realization that there's just another way. It doesn't have to be this way, and for people to be telling us it has to be done this way
Yes.
is to fulfill a specific agenda.
Right.
But it is one way of multiple ways that are just as acceptable,
Mm-hmm.
if not maybe even opening the door for more opportunity,
Yeah.
for more people to feel accepted or connected. And so I like this idea of, this cause and effect. You do this, you get punished.
Right.
That's
That's built in.
that's one way.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Mhm.
But also I love the restorative aspect.
Yeah.
That we can be open to. Of like, maybe we're not condemning people forever for making one
Condemnation.
bad or misaligned choice, unconscious or otherwise.
Yeah, or even making a choice that's like somebody doesn't agree with, that's not bad. Maybe it's like making room for choices that don't necessarily harm somebody else. And then when we do harm somebody else, you're saying like neutralize that shame by saying this was harmful, but there was another action you could have taken. Let's find out how we can get there,
Yeah.
so that you can be proud of yourself and not ashamed of yourself. 'Cause nobody needs to feel that way.
Shame is a powerful teacher.
Yeah.
Pain is a powerful teacher.
Yeah, it is. Right. So you're saying we can't like delete
We
that
can't delete
experience.
it, but we
It's
can
Yeah.
also learn from those experiences, right? I was unconscious, or it was in the subconscious, and now I'm fully conscious. I'm aware of the impact of that action,
Yeah.
or that belief system on myself and on others.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a choice now to either open my mind in the way in which I relate to the world and
Mhm.
people around me
Mhm.
that could be more inclusive or be more loving, or whatever the intention is. I would hope that your intention is to be more loving. It's not always everyone's. And
Right.
that is also a choice that you could make.
Well, I think it's like holding the complexity
Yeah.
that there are other options versus just the one that you thought.
Right.
And I think that is what we're building bandwidth to hold more and more complexity.
There are multiple truths, multiple realities that exist simultaneously. And I think when you're fully conscious of that, then it makes it very important for you to choose in a way that's in alignment with you. Because really, it's your reality, you create it.
Yeah.
Your reality is different than mine.
Yeah.
We participate in the same
Yeah.
one, right? We align in a lot of ways, a lot. But
do you still follow Debbie the Bagel Lady?
I would never.
Oh, okay. So we align on that as well.
Are we sure this person's not real?
Sorry, Debbie, if you're out there.
Get fucked.
Oh my gosh. The Violenza.
I would.
Sorry.
Don't apologize now, it's too late.
No, I have guilt.
We love you, Debbie.
Deb.
Deb. I'm not gonna cancel you, Deb. I'm
She
just
might
not
cancel
gonna.
you.
I'm just not gonna experience you. That's fine.
We did run through our itinerary. Did a pretty good job.
We did
Topics
it.
on topics.
We did it.
Yeah.
It is a big topic. It's
It is a
lot.
really big topic.
It's a lot, but I think it's important to bring conscious awareness to the idea of conscious awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Stopping, breathing, having your routines, grounding yourself.
Physical.
Physical, right? Where am I? How am I? What am I?
Reflective.
Right?
Yeah.
When you do something, how did it go? How could it be better? What went
Debrief.
wrong? Yeah.
So how do you think this podcast went tonight?
Oh, I think we were pretty good. I will say, I think none of us were prepared about how big this topic was.
I thought you were gonna be like, I will say, get fucked.
I will say,
entirely.
get fucked.
I'd be like, I probably deserve that, but why?
No, I don't think we were not prepared. We were not ready for
Well,
how
it's
big
infinity.
this
It's infinite.
topic is.
Okay, well,
Is it possible to be ready for this?
girl.
We could have taken notes. We could have taken
So we
more
learned.
notes. So we learned.
Right.
We
But
learned.
no, I think it's a good scratch on the surface.
I think it's
Yeah.
important to know, like, we are not meant to be conscious of everything.
Well, you
all the
can't
time.
be.
No, we
Yeah.
can't.
You'd
would
go
We would
insane.
literally be vegetables if we just had awareness, a complete conscious awareness at all times of everything.
Well, it
We
would just be
There
overload.
would be no action. So
Right. I like your
It's
your
you
your
gotta
analogy of the
be-
human antenna.
even with
Yeah.
full consciousness and waking up to the vastness of what's possible, it's very important to focus in
Right.
on what is important to you.
And the brain
And
is
then
gonna do
create
all
that
in a
reality in full conscious awareness.
Yeah. I think we're getting to a point where there's we might share reality for a moment, but we're not gonna have parallel shared realities. It's gonna get weird, bro. It's gonna get weird.
I'd say it's already weird.
It's weird already.
It's already weird. Life is weird,
It's giving weirdness.
and that's okay.
Yeah, I think
I'm aware of that.
But that's because
Okay.
there are multiple, like, everything is possible all the time.
right. Like I could have just like smacked you in the face.
I'm really glad you didn't.
I could also like poke you in the face. I could also just keep my hands to myself.
Sit on your hands.
That's okay.
But
Okay, so.
yeah. Well, you would lose your mind. I mean, just even of that was just like the infinite amount of possibilities, right? You're consciously aware of you could do anything.
Thank you for consciously choosing
Making-
not to do
never
it.
right,
know.
And then consciously, now we're all on edge. But that's kind of the point. It's like we would lose our minds. It would just be too much to process. I mean, could you imagine being always consciously aware of your nose on
No,
your
we're not
face?
supposed to. I
You're
know
not
that there are
supposed to.
times when my consciousness has been purposely expanded for on purposes.
Yes.
You know,
Yep. Yes, I know what you're trying to say.
and you
I'm
can
picking up what
see
you're putting it down.
you can see the fractals, and it's a lot.
Especially
You
as
can
someone who likes to start big and go small.
No, for me it was a lot. Like I never need to do that anymore. It's like I can see the fractals and also like feel the depths of my heart beating at the same time, and I'm like, this is a lot, everybody. I need like a deity to handle this because this is not my job. I need to be focused into my little Heather brain.
That's why we come back to our breath.
Yep.
Just focus on that.
And in that moment though, you have to choose because you have infinity to choose from, and you could choose some real rough stuff to focus on. That's an option.
You could. Totally. You can focus on your anxiety and your fear,
Yeah.
and then that paints your reality. That then becomes your conscious awareness. You're focusing on everything that's fucking going wrong. Everything that validates your fear or this belief that you're not worthy to receive X, Y, and Z, that you will be stuck or whatever. That is one reality. That is one experience you can invest in. And I really appreciate being in a position where I get to help people bring their awareness back to their power
Yeah.
of creation, right? If you can understand that, if you are the creator of your reality,
That's right.
then when given a choice, which you always have a choice, why wouldn't you choose to participate in a reality where you feel
You stand up to aliens.
best?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said, not today,
I say, I'm going to sleep.
Stitch. Back off.
Wow, that was really good. Thank you. Really good.
Oh, I get it.
Stitch
Like
is an
Stitch is an
alien.
alien. I was like, I thought you were just being like cute.
Both. Back off, Stitch. Oh,
I
like
get
a
it.
bit. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
that's what I
Oh.
thought.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were just trying because like
That
we
was
already gone
unconscious.
there.
We're going through all the processes of subconscious, unconscious, unconscious. But I
Anyway.
think I think we did a good job
You did a
today.
good job, guys.
And
If you watch this, thank you.
Leave in the comment section below how you like to bring conscious awareness to your everyday life.
We gotta go.
the more you know.
Bye. Thanks for coming.